Peanut Nation, rise up. Even though Peanut's not here with us IRL, he is with us in spirit. And now we will try to solve this mystery with our social defects. Abigail! It's funny because my mom has said that her Ty is talking to her. Iris! Her character's Ty is talking to her. Let me rephrase that. And she's like, has your Ty talked to you yet? And I'm like, I did call myself a superstar in the mirror like 4 times, though. Yesterday, I didn't, not yesterday, the other day, I did not do accidental crimes. We did not actually hurt him. I don't even remember what the frick we needed to do still. I know that we've got... That was a bad idea. We still gotta go talk to Cigarette Guy, don't we? Yeah. We got Cigarette Guy at 21 hour. No, it's not disco music. I'm not sure what the conditions are for Ty talking. Maybe estate to stat dependent. I have no idea. She did make very different characters than me. First she went with an intellectual, and then when the intellectualism didn't work because she died fairly quickly, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that you could die. How have I been this lucky? But when that happened, then she made him dumb but very strong, which is how she ended up beating Measurehead. And she put all of her stats into strength. I'm like... I love you too, Monty. Okay, I just have to re-get my grounds of what the frick I was doing. Find a firearm. Gain authority in Titus's eyes for the investigation. Who is... Oh, Titus was the union guy. Okay. I should go back and talk to him and see if I can't. Let Everett know you unlocked the door. Oh, we could go talk to Everett. You told Lena Morel is missing because of the broken water lock. She is still worried he has to come back. Let Morel know if you see him. Establish authority means... I feel like it's urination. Wait, pull your big toe. Okay, well, we'll go talk to Everett first. Maybe. Can we get to Everett from this direction now? I assume so. Don't let me forget that we need to talk to Cigarette Guy. At 21 hours. See if we can even find our way to Everett. Whale Fjord. Tatum doesn't roundhouse kick, he kicks like a horse. He backs into you and then just, like, kicks you. With his butt up against you. Back kicks you. Deliberately. He will back himself into you specifically so he can kick you. Is he gonna... Oh, this is where we learned asserting your dominance means making the other person sit in the chair.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
Absolutely not.
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
We're supposed to be a good liar. I did go inside. Weasel had the flag of the old Rockevel on the wall. The deal wasn't for me to go inside, so I didn't. Oh, should we... We are very good liars. I don't know what I want to tell this guy. Liar cop? I feel like that's...
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did. So we're all good here.
We're lying. I didn't want to
was
trust the
testing
walrus.
you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
There was a collection of colonial mugs there. I found a similar mug in the trash. I've heard about the connections between the lynching and the strike. Well,
By
we're
now,
obviously not going
I'm
to talk
sure
about this
you've
stupid...
figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Lance camps. I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Oh.
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Is that him? Is he the village
Now,
elephant?
I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
Talking about Kuno? Or is he talking about the dead guy?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
The whole neighborhood is in on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Who exactly did the push?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you. Idealistic people who want to make sure that bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. One day Titus Harding, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Are you not afraid that we're gonna arrest them?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
And there's a bullet in the hanging man. Also, before I get too far and I forget because I didn't see it before when I was doing things, I love you too, Abigail. I saw your message like a little bit ago, so I wanted to acknowledge you. I didn't want to forget. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? You mentioned a lawyer girl. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. Well, obviously, we need the business about them.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization.
As you
I'm
should.
relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Gosh darn it!
Oh, no.
I was
I don't cross paths like that. All I
was
want
thinking
is
of
for you
something
to
else,
succeed in your
unfortunately.
investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
This weasel might have cleaned up after the
Believe
killer.
me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary
Of
baton.
course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are. Oh, they are simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
What more can you tell me? Who's the second in command? Who's the most
Harry,
violent?
they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. So they shot him.
Yes, someone shot him in the head before they
How
hanged
odd.
him.
I don't know what to say, Harry. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to
I
say
agree,
if he's
Iris.
telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my favourite policeman, Harry. Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
Did you send her to spy on me disguised as a gardener? Better not mention it.
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on.
Everard, I met these hardies. Can you ask them to cooperate
But
with
of
me?
course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Why are you giving it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? How do I know?
That man was trying
Let
to
me tell you
bribe
about these
me.
people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating
He
people.
just had his hand out.
Tell
You
what,
would know,
Harry,
Ruth.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. You said it, Harry. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
I'm not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Rafachal. You're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. A money engineer. What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. This is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me.
What
go.
does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry?
I should have lied to him and been
Does
like,
it tell
I'm
you
super
to
left.
forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you.
What would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
What are those signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
That's what it sounds
Water
like,
drips
Ruth.
from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff.
Should I accept or
There's a pair of cavalry
reject?
boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
Accept or reject? It's up to you guys. Turn it down. You accepted with the intent to trick him. Did your intent to trick him work? You haven't gotten to that yet.
Perfectly acceptable. No one's gonna force you into anything, but I don't know about that gun of yours. You see, I'm a vengeful man, Harry. Part of how I got where I am is that, well, I can be quite nasty sometimes.
This guy's gonna shoot me with my
But
own
the good
gun.
news is, the moment you change your mind and want to look into this matter, just tell me, and we'll be buddies again. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get the body down. And I'm helping you find your gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
I told you that I met Joyce. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gaumont? Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Everett, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her. You know, I don't want to...
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun.
He keeps
Tell her
bringing up
about
the gun.
everything. Everett doesn't mind.
He just talked about himself
It
third
is
person.
rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
In his fat folds, I wouldn't be surprised. Should I have changed my mind and accept and then just not? Good night, Barry. Cut me out of the other quests.
See?
I have a million other quests, my dude. How many points do I have? 2 points? Rigorous self-critique, that's right. Apricot scented chewing gum. Kingdom conscience. Oh, my authority is -1. I have 0 authority up in here. Oh no. I think I've been saving my points for when I saw that I needed a better. Okay, let's go talk to Titus, and then we'll see what time it is. If it's closer to the 21 mark, where we need to go and talk to our cigarette man. That's true. I am not beating people. I am also carrying around a plastic bag. Picking up litter as you do. The bottom of the Union logo and demand democracy. Come on, Harry. Thank you. We're not struggling. It's fine. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that guy either. He seems sketchy. Okay, Titus.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
We're the 8 heart. Establish authority. Oh no!
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it?
Yes.
Lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't?
I had to establish dominance
You're
some
gonna
way.
go and tell on us?
I'm very mature, guys. Why don't you push me more to find out, Gimp?
You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am, you big pussy. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
I found 8 sets of footprints.
A bullet, you say? That's mighty curious.
Truly curious, if you hanged him, how did he get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads. I guess it's a little logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
I don't know if I should trust myself with this.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. It's a technique.
Shit!
I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
I meant before he
Before,
was hanged.
after, during. This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Never
Shut up,
been
Elizabeth. We're not
worried
talking to
in
you.
my life, Lawman.
It's not like he blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
Sorry, boss.
Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Let's roll.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the
Points the
first
finger.
bad option that didn't.
I'm the only thing keeping this town from going to hell, and you're not helping. I need Kim and his gun for help for my demonstration. I mean, I'm negative authority. This would not happen. Good night, Iris. Thanks for hanging out.
The fuck are you talking about? Gun? No one's gonna let you wave a gun around here.
I mean,
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong.
I don't think Kuno has done nothing wrong.
All the
Let's
while
be
talking
honest.
racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
I haven't said anything racist. Ask Kim.
So you keep saying, and I do want to believe you, but it's getting harder and harder. Didn't Carly say something?
Yeah. Callie
Ugh.
said you've been hanging around the daycare center. In the bushes, man. By the jungle gym.
My
Trying to set up
morals.
some weird field trip. To your station. That's in your home.
I can believe that. That rings true to me. Carly works in the kindergarten, right?
Please stop hanging around the jungle gym. Whatever you're doing there is making you look awful, and it's not helping you with these guys at all.
I was... What? I did nothing? I did nothing? I am being framed by a bunch of
I've
criminals?
got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could
Am
even be
not.
a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
You're very pretty.
The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused. It's not her. She's not a Hardy girl. Definitely.
What's your role
Like
in
I
all
already
this?
told you, I'm a legal counselor.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We've not seen the girl upstairs since the beginning. Yep, that's why I'm coming to see Joyce right now, honestly.
You're back. Good. What, more lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is...
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. and its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you
Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. Elysium.
The world needs a term of endearment. The world does not need a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I've got the whole picture
You
yet.
want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside, sideways. What shape is this world
We used to
then?
think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revichol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Yes,
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh, pale covers 72% of the surface. There are gray flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there is a sphere, then it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. Oh my god, wait, what the hell are you telling me?
you seem to be spooked. Please
Pale?
don't be.
The pale, and what do you mean,
They say
corona?
there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone back together. Okay, and then everything will be okay?
I don't know about things of that scale. My expertise lies in nations and trade routes, one or several layers below everything. But yes, we'll be fine.
It certainly doesn't
Don't
feel
worry.
Thanks, okay. Okay, forget all this stuff. Let's make...
You may have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say disco...
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Well, I kind of want to see if I can put on some more authority and actually make Titus talk to me if I was more authoritative. I don't know if that's possible, but it could be. I'm gonna go upstairs and talk to Art Girl and see if she's gonna actually say anything to me. If I can remember how to get upstairs. Wrong balcony. I mean, it isn't a made-up universe, so it's kind of a detective fantasy. Yeah.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Don't you have a real home? It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
There are a lot of
The
French.
inspiration will come
She didn't
to
get
her
to see
once
Kim.
hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Do you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
Okay, I have other
Shoot,
questions.
Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
So you won't talk about the murder, but maybe you could tell me something about the murder victim's missing
What
armor.
do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art of the body?
Ugh, alright. Sad Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time!
And there's a little girl wearing the gloves there.
No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I just told you. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
How much authority could I actually gain, aside from giving myself 2 authority points, if I put on different clothing? Where's my negative, by the way? Okay, my glasses are negative. That's it. I could only get to basic level. Well. We'll be back.
Just an ordinary war.
Trying to sneak up on me again!
She won't talk to us. Don't make me cry, Kunis. Okay, let's... Freaking... Just one. A drama I don't want a negative drama, that's... Oh, okay, how's my one authority?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
I mean, it's still super low.
You have so many bad options ruled.
So,
Taking off the sunglasses did not help, for the record. In case you thought maybe changing your clothes could, gain you any benefit, it cannot.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
She doesn't want to talk to me either. They're all talked out. Upstairs, my friend. Will she answer yet?
The door is closed. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your ears recedes slowly. Still nothing.
I was not rude to the old lady.
The murmur in your ear.
Why would you think I would be rude? I did nothing. Can I pick up this? There are bottles in here. Why can I not pick up the bottles?
A mirror hangs
To
on the
sell
bathroom
them.
wall. It's been...
Okay. Well. I did nothing to that old lady. Oh, asking her questions about reality is an actual objective. I guess we're gonna go ask her more questions about reality. Not like we don't got the time. Joyce.
You're back. Good. More lessons in... The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass. Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
Insulinde?
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what is the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla. An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. The Great Vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are the physical qualities? If we are surrounded by Pale, how do we get from Isola to Isola? How much Pale is there compared to the world?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible. Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged extensively. Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past. It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic smile on her lips. It's getting worse every year.
What is entroponic?
Entropanetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross
There
it?
are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What is entropontics changed?
Nothing.
Then?
We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft.
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we
then
do not?
they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our
What do
detriment?
you think, detective?
It's shrinking. There is more and more of the world. It's growing. There's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's not extreme at all. It's going to happen. Cover everything. That can't be. Where would we go? Stay silent.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. It doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant in earnest, detective. Live life. Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying. You were right. It's a disco. It's disco. Food. What kind of food? A powerful anti-communist force. Perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried I have to say it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? It's an advance. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Stop the pale with communism. Starve it. Starve it out. You were right. It's disco.
Mm-hmm.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
I'll handle it under control. The investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise. Yes, I'm in serious trouble. It'll be a fucking disaster. Yeah, this is my masterpiece.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Yeah, we stand
you
him.
have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where
the
you
lady
get
is
to file
crazy.
your teeth. The revolution.
Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got shot in the head? Who got the mineral rights? When was this kerfuffle?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
She likes the totality of it.
You could say they got totally shot in the head.
Indeed. They piled them in mass graves in Ozon. And, well, that's the last anyone heard of those people.
Did the communists and anarchists
Did
shoot
they
back?
ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle. That's a just a kerfuffle. Sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then.
Yes. The Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it.
Anyone else got shot in the head? The opposing
Oh,
side?
lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
I love that king fucking communists. I don't care about the king. Smart. Let's go.
King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down? Anyway, Gil got out alive and his nephew Frisell got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
We got the
The
mineral
liberals
rights.
got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
And by liberals.
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the Ultras, or Ultra-Liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
A communist? If everyone got shot, who was there to
The
surrender
foreign
to?
intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals already took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
Who are the coalition?
The Coalition of Nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do. The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I don't think I am a moralist, ma'am. I took a bribe. I woke up without pants on. Not just technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard about these people. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes, I am. And also, not, clearly.
An almost endearingly moralist standpoint. It must be hard to take a moderate approach to head shooting in your line of work.
What was
Turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world have gotten involved.
Who started
it? Wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Torah do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from?
From Revachol.
Prion disease is awful.
Not far.
Are awful.
The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came
Why?
next?
You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-Islary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
It's been like this for how long
43
exactly?
years. Hard to fathom, I know.
What have we been doing all this time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell.
And after
the
that?
30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
We're still trying to see karaoke. Explore the whirling secret passage. Find a way into the secret passage. Where is the secret passage? Who made the call reporting a crime? Oh, we need Kim to come back before we can do that. Ask around about tattoos, possible meaning. You just have to present her with your badge to hear it. So we got more information that we need to squeeze from her. Go to your back inventory. Do that later. Well, I can't now. Kim's not here.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know? What I am not is a basic term of reality. The Pale is not. It is the opposite of reality. Of course, we're in Martin, a casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all? Martinez is a district. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant. I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing?
Well, I'm trying to find where...
The girl in the old lady rags? Ah, yes. There's something very satisfying about discussing the fundamental facts of reality. Glad to have been of assistance.
I'm trying to find where
Little
the
that I know.
lynching is.
Anything else? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the
The
back
lynching
staleness.
question?
I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Oh. How about my badge missing again?
I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol.
Feelings will guide the way.
What if we add one to suggestion? Reached cap. I need to know about this lynching. It's very important.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You have so much else. I have only this. This is the entire
She's
existence.
silent. The wind flaps the sail
This
above
boat,
her.
for example, and a home somewhere. I only have this case. My moral. No!
Officer.
This is the only coast, and this is the lynching.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Tell me
It's
about the
quite
drug
straightforward.
trafficking.
Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
What kind of ingredients are we
Meth
talking?
and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
I'll look into it.
Excellent.
I feel better about helping her than
It may
helping
come
the
to
walrus.
nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I suspect the traffic jam won't disperse for a few more days. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Who needs a badge when you can just do favors?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can fumes of heavy fuel oil waft.
Oh, whoever that is not who we need to talk to. I think it's not this guy either.
Nice aggression with the native. Don't let the chief fool you next time. You don't need to be that up in his face. Leave yourself space to move.
Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work. When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man
Perceive
is
some
in
serious abs.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Where are you from?
What's it to you?
Bruh. Curiosity. Routine. Part of the investigation. Go to figure out the strike mess. I thought you looked real familiar.
Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
Been thrown out from several. Maybe that's where I've seen him.
Worked at Territorial.
Pretty okay as far as lies go.
I think I've been there. Not right now, but I have been there. Never heard of it. Are you lying?
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
He's like, I'm not talking to you, ho. Trained assassin? Probably. Let's...
Hola, Wandering Man.
The
How can I
weasel
help
I
you?
visited turned out has one hell of a colonial mug collection. Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. We're negotiating our share. Aye.
So not wages or pensions. How large a share would you like? Okay, economic stuff, I get it. I wouldn't... Well.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Its mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values. See how well we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs. That's what a ruling class wants. A man with such a funny mug collection can't be that bad. All I'm saying is he had lots of mugs. He did have lots of mugs.
Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work.
Oh, they are very fixated on the mugs. Oh my gosh, just go down there, my dude. Thank you. There's not anyone else down here that... Oh wait, maybe there's the guy over here. Is this guy running drugs?
Still here.
You
Stuck
seem
in
like
this
a
damn
man who
jam,
knows
my
about
man.
drugs.
Aw, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
I need to get high and I'm looking for the dealer. To get this straight with you, I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. How honest do we want to be with him?
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
And why are you still hanging around? Who do you think could be conducting
Look,
a drug
man,
trade?
I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Ah, man. But... Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
No, of course.
Then what's your deal here?
Nah.
Not me, man. No way. I gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo. And it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try to stay...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Your best verse? You don't even have a bad verse in here.
She broke
Just
me. She
tumbleweed
fucking
and liquor
broke
stains.
Me.
Wait, no. What?
That's brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already mortified.
No, Tommy, these are my rhymes. Listen, she fucked me till I bled. My moral. It's not real, man. It's not my actual thoughts. It's a poem. Never be the same again. She's always there. Fuck the case. Fuck everything. Total doom.
Yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but...
We'll continue.
Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life. Doesn't matter if they're robust, they're honest. So...
He's not lying. He liked the end.
My empathy is like... Nope. Can we add an empathy? I know I have like no empathy at all. Where are you at, empathy? One. No.
Ease into it. Don't go too far.
You look sad.
This seems like a personal matter.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your conversational skills, does it?
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct.
I had no other option. My brain... I could wear that. That's got suggestion. What am I wearing right now? Clinically insane. Am I wearing fishnet with my freaking detective coat? What is wrong with me? He's goth. It's disco. If we put this on. We need Kim. He helps us because we rough. Okay, somehow Kim's got way more empathy than we do. Goth cop made of magnesium. Let's go. Ask the little girl in the fishing village. Interrogate the driver about smuggling. That driver? The one that was just like, I'm not talking to you, man. The one that we cannot actually get to talk to us.
Hello, hello. Let me know.
There's more than one driver. How have I not seen more than one driver? Yo, what's up, my guy?
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The food pack? Persuade him to give you money. The food packages you're selling have humanitarian aid written on them. How come?
You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out.
I think one said not for resale on the packaging.
No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy.
Wait. Humanix. Humanitarian aid.
Does your supplier drive that Humanix lorry over there?
What?
A convincing performance. Bravo.
Look, officer, I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got questions about the supply chain. That's how the game works.
No need to dress this one.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? You see, I'm an... No problem.
Wait. Humanix.
Oh, he's a good guy. I think you'd get along. I'll let...
It looks like he is selling aid food, yes.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Wait, what's so bad about the 50s?
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
What else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during
Where
the time
else?
of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
Who is Gabriel?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
So I take it that you were in Mesque when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone? Are you not? Are those not
They
your
are someone's
memories?
memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
All of what? The world? The present?
Sorry to interrupt your dreaming,
I wasn't
man.
dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the Black Sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
Right, I have other questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds. Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you
Whatever
really
stupid
hauling?
things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Are you high off driving a lorry? What if the cargo is contraband? I guess that makes sense, minding your own business.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos' bad hand, strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Before I came, you seemed away. You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs. Drugs,
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
Okay, what's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
I'm guessing that doesn't happen.
Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
No. The Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Maigret. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's not
You
worth
have to
it.
understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
Before I came, you seemed away.
What do you mean? Yes? What about it?
Ruth, she just got really aggressive from your suggestion. Okay.
A pale dream is what it is. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. If you don't know,
All right, let's get you a pale category license and roll that doobie up. Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Who the fuck is Irat? Ah, and what do I care about the Union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the
Okay,
Hound.
let me put it another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
You said earlier that you don't know what you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Loman? No, Loman, diamonds.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Are you making fun of me right now? You better start complying. I didn't ask about diamonds, did I? If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here? Okay, if you're not involved with drug trafficking, then why are you still here? Well.
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
Never
Also,
trust
he's
a
the
poet.
only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
I would never make fun of a real lawman, Herife. Diamonds are good for you, lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why?
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
We knew it was the poet. We may not have great suggestive skills and authority, but we can write terrible poems. Until he
now
answers.
it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Can't do anything.
What's on your mind?
I can't do anything with that. Conceptualization. We can get to 6 conceptualization. Okay, let's try that again.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Wait. There's something here. Stored away in some
The
dusty
guy in front of
corner.
Frit is a lorry driver?
It starts like...
A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. It's a camera X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion.
Silent communion. That's good.
Where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity
Dang.
never your own.
That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some
I
claim.
am just a vessel for the muse.
Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours.
I think these words are mine, yes.
Fuck
Thank
it,
you.
hey. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops
Capo
aren't much
del
known for
Arte.
their artistic sensibilities these days.
Hey, Spooky, what's up?
It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, so you don't really get it.
It makes it all easier to bear if the words are pretty. Hey, man, cops are human too.
I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does. But what is art? No, art is for arrogant blowhards. Why am I getting this?
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination, and technical skill. Additionally, its history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with
Heck
that
yeah.
beard and those clothes. Disheveled and prophetic.
With his
Perhaps
outfit.
you should try to critique architecture too.
Hold on, is architecture also art? I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop.
Become the art cop.
Half art critic, half cop.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna get a new thing that we can learn? I will become half art, half cop. But I don't have to be 100% cop to get the case finished. Now I'm gonna be art hobo cop. It's all gonna come. And magnesium-based life form. Okay, if 50% of art critic is what's needed.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
It's
Yes!
not only your duty
Actual
to
art
own
degree?
the
Frick
criminals
yeah.
of the street. You must also apprehend
Yes!
criminals
don't-
of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists.
I have to
and
wait
writers
till
of
I
the
can
world.
unlock another one though.
Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Good night, Spooky. Sorry about your speakers. I know you can't hear it, but... Okay, we'll try it before
Now
running
it's turning
up.
into a... Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Then what you do here? Not me, man. Look, man.
We wouldn't say he's lying.
Nope.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to... Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
But they make alcohol in Ilmara, too. I was told they do. So I take it you are not smuggling drugs in Martine? Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right? That's all I need to know.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling me that you don't know anything about the drug smuggling through
I don't
Terminal
know
B?
shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Then what are you still hanging around
What do you
for?
think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kids sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some Kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything.
Was it Kuno?
Lost since he left. I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty is what it is.
If it's not you, then who is running drugs to Terminal
Isn't it
B?
obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
The one selling the humanitarian aid packages?
That's the one. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. Is your man alright? 100%. He's a lorryman selling his employer stuff. Broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. No doubt she's selling drugs too. Guess so.
Why do I feel like you're just trying to... Like, I don't trust that guy, because obviously, for obvious reasons, but also... Okay, sir, we're gonna need to get into fisticuffs.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable, found ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, "Solidarity aid from the People's Republic of Samara." The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
I know there are sneakers on top of the speakers, but I feel like he's trying to redirect me to the sneakers because he's hiding the drugs in the speakers.
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I think I might be a lo-fi socialist junk myself. You're right. I don't have time for this junk.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale.
You don't know what I am. I don't even know myself. I want the speakers.
Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those
50
sneakers are
Royale.
the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. Found ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine?
Can I just be sad? I have to go get more money.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speak. That's right, officer.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry. Emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis.
You shot a man in the dick?
For life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Harry is such a disappointment. Did I have a skill point? Learn, cap, or shiver. Well, I feel like I can get rid of Hobo Cop and replace it with something else, like apricot chewing gum, scented one. I can use the smell. Wasn't it this guy though that was accused of
still
drugs?
Cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale, or at my home, or on my person.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction.
But you are a
We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit that you're a lorry
No,
driver?
I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation? He's a thief.
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
What crowd?
You know, the drug crowd.
You're wasting my time. Tell me who the fuck is transporting the drugs.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
We're buddies. Sealing, Ling, help us out. No one will know it's
It's
you.
a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
Who is this other driver that you're talking about?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now?
Is it the lady driver?
I really want us to be cool now.
A dazed out stranger.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved.
Could she be
I told you.
associated with the Hardy
I don't
Boys?
know.
Bruh, I
I'm
don't
not
believe
local.
you.
I don't know anything about that. All right. Very cool. Let's cap this off with a purchase. A pair of funky sunglasses, detective. You deserve it. And I deserve it too. Don't you think?
No need to dress this way.
Oh, okay. Ah, yes. Money is very important. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol. Very cool.
Which one was Tommy?
Stuck in the rain
yeah.
in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
One of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think that she's here. Do you know this lady
I don't want to
driver?
talk about that.
Okay, Mr. Poet. Why? Do you know something? What is it? I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, She isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do. Who is this person? What's her name?
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
It's true. We would of course lie. But a kind heart is tricky.
Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who is she to
A
you?
friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way. Blue and Violet. Died. It was Violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
I can't just let it go as part of a police
That's how
investigation.
it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
It's not snitching, it's just questions. Come on, man. Life is just a joke. I was told everyone's afraid of her. Why not you?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on, her mind.
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
The pain it was causing her.
When she left, did she leave the lorry behind?
Man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is or I can't finish the investigation. Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation too. It's important. I can't.
You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, we're gonna go try talking to the race man. You ended up being forceful. We'll go back to him if we can't find another way.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Fess up, where's the lady
I
driver?
don't know what you're talking about.
First, you knew that Sailing didn't do it. Then, why are you smirking? Just tell me which one she is.
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another honest lorryman's job. Talk to him. I don't know anything.
Just tell me.
Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivachel West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run shit.
So who does? You? So who does? Lady driver? Actually, we do.
I ain't saying nothing.
You're coming to the station. You want me to get violent with you?
No, I'm not. I'm not coming anywhere. And you're not. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not in trouble right now, and I don't have to tell you. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. I ain't saying nothing. What? Here on the street? You won't.
We need to beat this man with persuasion. You know. Our cop persuasion. I'll check with this chick, but then we might have to get forceful with the poet.
Lowman, you just call me a lady, Herife.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs.
So you're not the...
It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So you're not the driver everyone is terrified
I'm
of.
only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Then who is the female driver I was told
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? When I have my movies to go to. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there, it's all just... In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terrifying adversary. Then the feeling dissipates, and all you see is an aging woman. In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. Oh, Sim.
Well, Mr. Poet, it looks like we're gonna try to get your assistance. Probably fail, but we're still gonna try. I don't want to do this.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. Thank you, friend.
You're gonna make me feel bad asking his help. Has Kuno met this blue-haired girl?
Fuck does Kuno care?
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language, trying to push your buttons.
Think you can turn the Kuno down for a second and talk like
Trying
normal
to fuck
people?
at the Kuno! Trying to fuck at me! Trying to fuck! Kuno only gets higher! It's faster, faster, faster! Can't take the Kuno! Stay out of the reactor!
Kuno gonna fuck you up! Up!
Normal is not what we got here.
Kuno doesn't fucking care!
He's gonna become a disco rapper. Can we talk to her on the roof? Do we have a way to get on the roof?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting...
Because. What about you? Are you a Lori? No. Okay, bro, I'm just gonna have to feel bad about forcing you to help me.
Stuck in the rain in a trap? What? I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
Anything else, like where she is now? Why did you have her keys?
I bet you are. She left them to me because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose.
The other drivers would have to break in there to get the machines moving. And they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating. This screen found A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This is the one the man pointed to, his friend's lorry. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and two steering levers. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. The remnants of a sweet juniper
It did say
scented
an
perfume.
actress, so...
Probably Grenade number 5. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver. The peculiar frequency tableau indicates that at least 128 stations have been saved on this radio. It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together. Not without the dial key, no. Unclear. The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper would also rub off the patterns on the driver's right boot sole.
Matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
The missing eighth Hardy. She's also the one running drugs.
Looks like it, yes.
First the drug smuggling, and now this. Women. Always the most deceitful ones.
You've identified the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys had anything to do with the drug trade?
And the entire union might be involved. Maybe even all the Martinez. Those jerks, definitely. Not necessarily. But I won't make any
You
assumptions.
should probably still talk to them, see what they've got to say for themselves. The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something strange about the passenger seat. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and the pull-out toolbox lies hidden under the driver's seat. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen. This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mass of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where does the road lead? Fold open the second.
To Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. The stack of maps looks just like voila, a stack of neatly folded, this large toll booth there. Hundreds of this municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. The cluttered cabin of the abandoned lorry offers no reply. If only Lieutenant Kitsuragi were here to help you piece together the evidence. You stuff the maps back under the seat cover, better not to leave traces of you being here
Kim
yet.
comes back.
The movie stars look silently by. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache. It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan. These formulas pull out Tuba and slice back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows. You close the rusty old lorry door. Your job.
That's what I'm wondering. Where are the drugs? Report back to Joyce? I mean, at least we need to be over there again anyway, because we need to get to our van, our cigarette van. What really is the problem is that we don't have Kim. Why is this little girl still outside? Nobody is buying books at 7 o'clock, except for this weirdo.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Yes. And will you start an official investigation? Ah, good to hear. I wouldn't want to pry into a confidential police matter, but in the event you'd like to share more, I would like to know who it was.
Can't investigate. I mean, we're investigating right now. We are technically on a murder investigation. Officially. Not even off the record. They know we're here.
First-rate find. That should tell you all you need to know about their network, I would imagine.
Yes, they're spread all over Jamrock and beyond. I couldn't even identify the exact
So
point.
this goes beyond Jamrock. At least you now understand the gravity of the situation, and those maps should prove very valuable indeed. High-intensity microwave frequencies. They're used for navigational purposes, to compress the inter-eastlery space. They may use it to communicate with incoming freighters.
Let's be honest. You have no idea what that meant. Inter-Esolary microwave compression. Moving on.
That speaks of the vastness and sophistication of the operation. Were you able to examine the radio?
Unfortunately, the dial knob was missing.
Sensible for her to disable access to such essential information. Now, per our original agreement, it's time for me to share company secrets with you.
Yes.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
You said contain the situation. Tell me again, how are the lynching and the strike connected?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker.
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are
Crenell, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
You've made a mess here. I have to say, this is not Disco. The investigation can team up, you know, share resources.
It is very far from Disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Union has over 2,000 men.
1,000 to 1. What can they do against a union? There seems to be a lot of them.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, detective? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Too many things have to go wrong first. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing? I think a confrontation is.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from following suit. One single, concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal. It's that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
First time I heard of this, where did the assault take place and when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They
I don't
boast
think
a
so,
long
Ruth.
list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Okay, anything else
Sadly,
you can tell me?
no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though. Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. Perhaps you should consult it. It was just a suggestion.
Did you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
This colonel, the one who was hanged.
If you mean, did I see him alive?
Did you know him?
Yes. But I did not know him.
His name
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first. This Laylee. Anything else? Nationality? How old do you
He was
say
40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions. He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so.
Hey, Barry.
I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest. That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
What do you mean you know what's going on?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please, of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Places, like vias on a microcircuit?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think. Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean.
Go get some sleep,
first the Semmes Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade. I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. Is there anything else I can help you with?
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Actually, now that I hear superstar and law officer in a sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bayi. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to
Badass on
recede
the edge
into
disco
a ludicrous
cop.
fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. With a sudden flash, the world
Kind of a
freezes
superstar?
around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Freaking, we're doing it. Skill points, so I can forget Hobocop or I can buy this. They're both gonna cost 1, so I might as well just... Oh, I need to unlock this. Give it. Let's go. So we're gonna be a magnesium-based life-form Hobocop superstar with finger pistols and rigorous self-criticisms. We're also gonna maybe become... I think I wanted to get rid of this so that I could learn apricot chewing gum. There we go. Too bad. I just wasn't seeing much benefit to the Hobocop. Ask about the possible meaning. Confront the Hardy Boys. Man, I'm gonna check to see if that guy... I don't think that guy is there yet. After 21. Okay, we have to go up there after 21, not at 21. I'll still be a Hobocop. Look, I'm an art critic. I'm gonna go confront the Hardy Boys and see how many hours that eats. So we need to eat at least another hour and 15 minutes. Okay, Hardy.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Guess what? I've connected you to a drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos. That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
I'm never going to be able to establish authority.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Nervous, snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline present.
Yes, they are forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn?
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Well, they pierce ceramic armor. Well, if Glenn has a knock cannon at home, I guess
we're
right.
gonna see, aren't we? Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen? What do you mean, okay?
I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus. I mean, you got this. You got the numbers. Okay, I'll be on your side when they come. Got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine. I lost it. Okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down alongside them. Good night, Ruth.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy. No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Well, this is going better.
You have so many bad options ruled out, it's insane.
So?
Peanut Nation! I can do it.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an oak.
Thank you, Triss.
You see a heavy steel door with a...
That was my first time drawing a horse in a very long time, probably since I was a single digit, because I don't really draw animals very much.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
They scare me to draw. They're shaped differently.
Can I help you?
Peanut is his own star.
The bullet is still... The note is written.
There's one of these. It was like, I still need
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, it almost looks like the electronic patterns inside a radio computer or an old filament memory. But not quite. For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Gone. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? But it will not happen. The mug talk is exhausted. It is time to...
The mug
The
won't
greatest
talk to me.
There it is again.
Was I supposed to... Find murder weapon, prove your authority. We're working on that. Find morale. Track down your badge. Who put the clothes in the trash? Read your ledger in the name of the case. I don't have... Do I don't... I think Kim still has that. I don't even know where the hidden passageway is. I don't know whether to be honored or frightened by that, Triz.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with... It's like something snaps at you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
Wow. Come on, guys. I just need an hour to pass.
You see a heavy steel door. The old cobalt. The door does. The man ponders his cooking utensils, and he looks up at shrugging is an international.
Guy wasn't talking to me before, will he? Nope. Nothing. The back rooms of the bookstore. Man, Book Lady does not like me.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape.
What are you talking about?
Just a door?
Just a
this
door.
Place is cursed, Detective.
No, it's not.
They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
Host Almighty, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the door. Blessed be your name.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know about the cursed. Cursed? I thought the curse wasn't real.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do.
Her facade has dropped. Now you see the curiosity behind the fear.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her.
You mean the chimney that is part of the central furnace? I heard voices coming from there. Chimneys aren't big enough for anyone to live in. Chimney passages between heaven and hell, of course. It makes sense now.
Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
You should get back to the furnace. Make some noise.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles.
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Why didn't you just tell me right away about the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales, 15%. Yes, the Simonese are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
How did I get to the other part of the store? Unless I need to... equip the flashlight. Sorry, it has been too long. It has been a very long time. Thank you, Abigail. You don't notice the 2 weeks until you do notice the 2 weeks. Does this match the dude's tattoo?
The whole thing resembles... Your flashlight slides some of the writing. The dusty radio computer. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology.
His little eyes just open.
The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Elysium Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
You mean that glowing thing I put inside?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
I don't know.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
It's called production
Good.
schedule.
Please repeat the password. No. Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Wow, so conceptual. And what's the interactive call?
Any other questions?
What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old, and my name is Yvonne.
Okay, but where are you? How do you know
I
where I am?
work as a repeater at the East Indian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do for... Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print. Nothing happens.
You gotta find a password.
This old fireplace is the whole thing resembles history classes, radio frequencies, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced, perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Someone, a conduct, whoever, a list of names under this. Nothing. It's just... The whole history class, radio frequency, unclear. It looks like, you think so? Looks like a survey. They must have had whoever a list of names, nothing. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Color something that's loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly
Good night,
cease.
Barry.
Hello?
Now some of the ghosts of this doomed commercial area. Hello! Are you there to speak?
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
Is that back out there? Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. I am pretty impressive, I know. I fail a lot of weird checks and win a lot of weird checks. Colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Oh no,
Hello.
She plays
I'm
D&D.
Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused for someone else. I haven't knocked on the window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking about
I'm a
dice?
novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some
Very
dice.
good. My rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites.
Yay, word
No
count!
falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
I'm glad that it helps.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside.
Do you have
This
to
it's an
work
odd
Sunday nights?
profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
For PWs? You mean passwords?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that this place is swarming with malicious
Plaisance,
energies.
the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. I feel like it's her own fault from her personality, though. Also, people are on strike. There's a block going on, so people can't come in and out of this town. It's a mess. And the curse is just biding its time before it strikes.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on, the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project.
Yes, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons. Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and the natural market fluctuations. Honestly, I'm still not sure.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
Yay, tens!
More or
And yay
less.
for feeling
Are you
accomplished.
interested in
There
anyone
goes my
specific?
mouse. Shh. I did not just do that. Yes, it's fine.
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
There used to be a hair salon here?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
Androgynous touch my hair, not even if my life depended on it. I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have opinions on hairstyles. Look at my hair.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
Hey Rachel, thank you. Hope you've been having a good day.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's sort of King Runner. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Yeah, don't. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what?
Congratulations on the AC.
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Even you can probably do better than that.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had any rights or
Yeah,
activists.
the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally,
Gosh dang
all
bug
the most
activists.
fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
What's it, the rotary blade?
They were made by a
skis?
company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine, that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. But Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house.
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
What did we just get opportunities for? We need actual art degrees, so we'll make one of these actual art degree. Oh my gosh, there are so many of them.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seem to be chronically liberal with their schedules. The usual, they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Really, they must have been a gigantic ego trip.
That's what I thought. Because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep up new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
You're right, they should have just tried harder. They had everything.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
Long averse, true.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided
That's gonna be next book review I do.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works at Fritta as a cashier, and she is not particularly friendly.
Employing Soki teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Not only, it's the market doing its job. I'm sure the bear was doing its best, the bear was scary.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool. Scary, but cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all.
Of course.
Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
The temperature has dropped in the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows.
Cigarette guy time.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Oh,
We'll
Right.
finish her and then we'll go
I hope you
save for
didn't try to
Cigarette
bring
Guy
me.
because the conversations can last a while. And then next week we will start out with Cigarette Guy. I will get us there. Her scarf has left a faint
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires.
Look,
Sorry
it's
about the
11:40,
confusion.
my dude.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So you're telling me that doorbell with the empty name card was yours? I was wondering what the Whirling Rags. It's part of the same building complex. East Delta Pinball.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
It was too real to be just a prank. Either whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
A prank is more likely, no? Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom. Albeit, I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Doom commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice? Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick track, especially pinball. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
You feel nothing. If any, she has begun. Some kind of superstar.
Hell yeah.
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice.
In a cool voice.
You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
There's an option to take off my clothes? What? You mean when talking to the chick, there's an option to take off my clothes?
It's you again. Are you looking for a die? I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know? Sure.
I
I'm
don't
listening.
see it.
Good. I hope it clarified things
I
a
just
bit.
have, how do you
What else?
become a dice maker? Oh, it's on the check. Oh, that's what it was? No, that's why hasn't her business failed? Oh, you mean when I failed the option. Okay, well, maybe next time. Because I was like, well, I failed. We're not doing this then tonight. We'll come talk to her again later. Do I have to get out the other way? Is it not gonna let me go back out this entrance? guess we will also tell Miss Bookseller. I think that bear is fine. I'll tell her that the place is not haunted. She just needs to get better at selling books next week as well. Okay. Let's go. I'm not trying to mentally or emotionally scar anybody. Taking off my clothes would end up in that sort of situation. Oh, I'm gonna pass these stairs. Or did I? Who's here? Okay. This is what we're freaking doing. And make sure that it's there. July 25th. Okay. We're good. So, next week, we start with finally talking to the cigarette guy. Don't miss it. It's been a long time coming. And my morality was shot just twice, you know. I'm glad that you had fun. I should go buy more morality, though. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Have a great week. And don't die. Gotta close the correct stream.